Hey guys, Arso here. So I have a lot of surplus of games that are actually a bit too short to have dedicated video. So for today's content, we're just going to have a compilation of those games. So for the first game, it's actually against Aquarion. So turn 3, we finally met Aquarion. And I went with Riding. So I think the thought process was during that time was I just want a unit that can have additional range since I want to take back this village as soon as possible in case they take it. So first I smack it just to threaten that I may have some units to capture, and they just decided to take out my warrior rather than taking the village since they won't be able to make use of it. They don't have any technology or resource to get an explorer this early in the game with such a isolated village. And luckily enough, when I explored my units here, I actually discovered an Aquarion city there. So that's another point of interest for me. I'm just banking up units. This 1, 2, 3 units is enough to siege this city. But also remember, there's a wounded there's a wounded mermaid here that went upwards somewhere here. It's here. I know it's going up. So that's another thing to take note of. I'm also going up, same with Aquarion, and now I get Explorer. Although I don't have fishing, Explorer is still worthwhile just in case the opponent might be able to take it back. And now I go with climbing for two purposes. First is to take out this village here. Although they have a city wall now, with these 4 units, 3 riders and a warrior, I'm actually able to siege. And now I'm taking it. And also I have a mountain ruin here, so climbing is worthwhile. But then I've noticed that this mermaid went here. And there's only one reason why that mermaid would specifically go to this tile. There's most definitely a village there since there are some resource indicators here. So since I've gotten stars from this ruin, I have a surplus to get roads, and then rode my rider in and steal back this village and also capture this village here. And unfortunately for the opponent, they don't have any units to make up this loss of an advantage, I've taken this city and also I've stolen back this city. Also continent-wise, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 4 cities, possible 4 cities against my 6. Just going to close the fog. Yeah, long term, I'm in a very good position. So the reason I won so quickly is most likely due to luck and just having some very good old vision on the opponent. But they just surrendered just like that. So okay, so for the next game we're going to be against Kiko. And my capital is actually in a coastal area, so taking fishing early on might not be a terrible idea. So just expansion, and now I go with fishing, but no ports yet since I don't have enough stars to make that happen. Just some city upgrades here and there. Now I finally make a port and embark 1 unit. Now I meet Kiko. Turn 6 with the raft, and this city is very loaded in resources. Has farms, fishes, completely filled up. I get 5 stars, and our points is very close to each other. Now I capture, and this is most likely Kiko's continent. Stars, very greedy. No explorer. And this city might have been a good explorer, but I really don't want to risk my explorer going this way instead. No, actually, yeah, it's most certainly going this way since I don't have navigation. I don't have sailing. I mean, it's most likely going down, so it's just going to be a research explorer. But still, vision is very important, so take that in mind. Basic development. I'm going to assume they went with the border growth, or there's a city here that they just recently captured. So now I went to border growth with my capital in preparation for late game. I'm just banking up some rough. So far I haven't seen any scouts from Kiko, so that may be a good sign that we don't have much port access. I've managed to steal one city from their continent, so I can make something with that, and now I go with the border growth here from some cheeky vision. But now I go with ramming. So the thought process there was, since our ports are connected via shoreline, it would actually be much more cost effective to go with rammers instead of scouts, since they both cost the same amount of technology as technology stars and stars in general for the promotion. So I just went with rammers. Now I get some vision. Capture this city. This city is going to be very important later on, since it's going to give me additional vision with an explorer. Now I see exactly what my opponent is up to. And they don't have a giant yet, so that's a very good start for me, since we're very delayed in giant. It's already turn 11 and no giants on both sides. But now I'm up in points, significantly, in fact, over 1,000 points in advance. And here is my first giant, actually turn 11, just before I end the turn. But they do have archers, so I'm not sure why they went with archers. Maybe they got that from a ruin, I don't know. And I went with city wall instead over here, since I would rather keep this village than lose it. Their archers are doing some work against my rammers, but now I go with sailing, and just enough to kill their warrior here and siege the city. Then they just went with a surrender, since I guess they don't have any more monuments or any other way to take out this giant or do a giant poof, so they just went and surrendered. So very fast game. So for the next and final game is going to be against Imperius. Another shoreline capital, so that's very lucky on my part. Good port access is very important for good navy, and usually the tribe with a better navy usually wins the game, so as much as possible make use of these shoreline cities. Just some typical development. For Spurt Port, turn 6, very nice. I also get a ruin, and the ruin gave me climbing, not the most exciting technology, but I'm not going to complain. Now I went with population, very greedy on my part. Lighthouse, just exploring. My first scout turned 8. I'm actually down in points, but not that much, I assume, since I just make it up with the giant. Now I'm making use of the climbing technology. Very nice. Now I go with construction. Wow, very greedy. Yep, population makes sense. Some port connections, very nice also. But now I siege. and got riding from a ruin. Now, that gave me 2 giants since I'm actually getting another population from this windmill. Just capturing some villages, and then they just surrendered. I'm not sure why. Maybe they made a mistake. Okay, they connected. Got some, and then they resigned. I guess they don't have enough units to unsiege, and I'm going to assume that they don't have any monuments, and they don't have any monuments. So, very quick. I hope you guys like the content. It's just, a compilation of some very short games I have that are actually not long enough to have their own dedicated videos. But if you like the content, liking and subscribing is actually a huge help. Also, commenting is very huge help since it actually helps within the YouTube algorithm. So, I hope to see you on the next one.